How's it going, guys? We're continuing to work at our project today. Builders are working and we're gonna get this water line attached. I need to shut off the valve that heads over that way. Get this pit with all the different valves that run out to the watering troughs on this side of the barn. And this one down here runs to the hydrant for the robots out in the end of the barn. That's the one that we intercepted. We're gonna attach to the new water too. So we dug the trench over to the new watering trough. Have that all filled in just here at the end. We hadn't actually attached it to this other line. So they're working at the gable end of the building there, and then they're also putting forms in for concrete. Gonna be putting curbs around the outside.
Where do you want it? Okay.
This pup, man. Shh.
Yeah,
She loves to bark.
he's a yipper dog. That's what they do.
Got everything attached. I'm gonna turn the water on now and make sure we don't have any leaks. We're just gonna give this a minute. Looks like it's gonna be good. I wanna head up onto this roof. This barn has an overshot at the top, just lets air out. The old section here has a curtain they had put on, which we never use, just in case you'd wanna close it in the winter. But you can see it's all beat up, torn up, so we just wanna remove this. Nice to get that curtain off. It was sort of an eyesore, wasn't doing anything. So we don't have any leaks. We're gonna put a little bit of topsoil around those pipes and then fill in. Already got it filled in. We got this tamper machine now. We want to take over the trench just to pack that down good. We got all these outside curbs poured. Yeah, that's about right. Now we're working at grading this floor. We want to get ready for concrete. already pulling these forms off. It's only been a couple hours since they poured it. They want to finish the concrete before it dries completely. So here's that piece of conduit we had run to the water there if we want to put a heater in. Let's put some duct tape over top of it. We got that floor graded out pretty well. We got this building project going on, but we're getting to the end of August, so we're also thinking about corn silage harvest. So I want to get a couple samples today, chop them up, and we'll see what the moisture level is. Just looking at it, you can tell it's starting to change, getting closer to being ready to cut. So I'm trying to find the two most average stalks in this field. You can also look at the ear to kind of tell where you're at. See, the kernels are dented, and if you break open a kernel, you can see where the line is of the milk versus the starch. As it matures, the starch works its way down the kernel from the top. So I broke it in half here. I'd say 2/3 of the way down the kernel there's starch. So as far as the kernel goes, this is mature enough to cut. We're harvesting the entire plant. Gonna cut it off 8 or 10 inches off the ground and then chop the whole stalk up, so we'll get the ear kernels in there. What really matters is the moisture of the entire plant. Got another one. I'd say the bottom end of this field seems a little greener. It's not far off, but I don't think it's ready to chop today. Just got this little chopper. We're gonna run these stalks through. I got another 2 stalks from the other farm. Here we got our 2 different fields. I brought my 2 samples in here. We have this forage moisture tester. So what I'm going to do is put 100 grams in this basket. We'll put it on this and we'll cook all the moisture out of it. And then we'll weigh it again. And whatever's left is the dry matter percentage. We usually talk in terms of moisture. So if there's 32 grams left, that means 68% moisture. It's been about an hour, so I want to check this sample now. .7. So that's coming in right at 64-65%. So one thing we found when we do this hand test, usually when you go to actually chop it, it's going to be about 5% wetter than the hand test showed. I don't have a great explanation for that, but that's how it works. So we're usually looking for the low 60s on this test. And that means it'll be right around 67, 68, which is what we want to chop at. The other thing I like to do is a squeeze test. Just take a handful and I'll just squeeze it as hard as I can. As you can see, the juices are running when I squeeze it. So according to that, we're not quite ready to go. Well, it looks like we're going to be cutting silage next week, so we got to make sure this bunker's cleaned out. Fill this middle one first. We get this roller out of here. The other thing we want to do is get our concrete block hooked up to the big tractor to pack. I'll try to do that now. So we're not going to be using the sheep's foot roller this year. We're actually planning to run a big tractor, and I'll have to show you what we have in our shed for packing. We got a versatile 255 from AgCom. It's a dealer in Pennsylvania. Brought it out for us to run the pack, so I'm pretty excited about it. We had run a versatile last spring to do some mowing. This one's it's not the same tractor, it's a little bit bigger one. It is warm. Let's get this AC going here. Now he was saying the quick attach might not fit onto it. We'll have to just hook directly up to the block if it doesn't fit. But I want to try it first. it's actually not gonna fit the quick attach, so we'll have to just hook directly to the block. Well, we got it hooked up. Stresses me out a little bit with a tractor I'm not used to, but we got it. So I just crossed the road here. I got a couple scales at this grain business. I want to see how much this thing weighs now. This rig is 32,220 pounds. It's a lot heavier than our case was that we used to run. Definitely heavier than that sheep's footed roller. We thought the sheep's footed roller was doing a decent job. The problem with that thing was once it got steep towards the end, it had a lot of trouble getting up the hill and kind of sketchy when it got steep against the sides of the bunk too. So a tractor like this is gonna have a lot better traction and be able to get up the hill. It doesn't have duals, so it should compact actually a little better than the dual wheel tractor did too. So that second forage sample came in at 66% moisture. At this point, we're thinking of chopping Tuesday. That'll be 4 days from now. Just gotta get the bunker cleaned out. Dad's working at that right now. Fonzie, our employee, was stacking the tires as he cleaned off the bunk this year. So that's pretty nice. We just have to move the pallets. They have 1 full week of work into this project now. Got a whole lot done, just have to finish up concrete work. We were kind of thinking last minute we'd like to let some light in this gable. So that strip right there, underneath that metal, they're gonna be putting the see-through skylight siding on there. So it's just gonna let light in on this pens. Be really nice in the winter time when we have everything closed up, just to get some sunlight into this barn. I guess I'll wrap this video up here. Sorry if these videos seem like they're all over the place. We have a lot of stuff going on, and I guess I'm not working extremely hard. The builders are here working hard, but just thinking about corn silage and everything else going on. Trying to show you guys what's happening too, so appreciate you watching.